Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the No Man Left Behind podcast. I'm your host, Calvin Sunshine Shoulders. I want to apologize. We're running a little late because of some technical difficulties. It's called a brownout here in the Philippines. But today's episode 2, is the hidden cost of being a man in today's society. Here lately, men are being treated as insignificant. And I do have a special guest today, somebody who I wanted to bring on for this discussion because I know he works with the youth, mostly young men, I believe, that you're a football coach. But we fight for you, not against you. And I want to just get this started by giving you a definition of brotherhood because this is part of the solution. Brotherhood is a belief in or feeling of unity and cooperation among men. Welcome to the podcast, Blizzard Abroad. Go ahead and kind of introduce yourself. I know you've got a growing channel and everything.
Thank you. First, I want to say thank you for having me. Like, you don't understand how much you inspire people like me, because I'm just a regular guy. I'm a blue collar guy. I work hard every day. I'm still on that hamster wheel. So I'm not coming up here saying that, I'm a guru or I know everything. I'm just starting my journey out and I'm following brothers that are further along down the path like Calvin.
Well, that's good, brother. But this is going to be an interesting discussion. I'd like some cooperation from my audience today because 94% of my viewers, Blizzard Abroad, are men, and a lot of times what we suffer from are it's in silence and isolation. We don't want to come out and talk about it, but I got an article from the Good Men Project, and I want to use this as kind of a template to guide our discussion today. I put the link in the description. Also, before I get started, if my friend Kaz is on here, he's a longtime supporter, man. He lost his son over here in the Philippines a couple of days ago. I asked him for his link to his PayPal because we want to help him. He's got to fly down to Butuan to, do the funeral and put his son to rest. If you're on here, Kaz, put your PayPal link up. And if anybody wants to contribute, man. Remember, we're all in this together. I mean, this is a great guy. He was at the last meet and greet, but their son died suddenly. He was 24 days old. And it's the saddest thing, man. It's just something that I want to let him know he doesn't have to go through by himself, 8,000 miles from home. But let's get started. It says, men have historically been the first to war, the first into a burning house, and the last to exit a sinking ship. We always been seen as disposable, so to speak. A lot of our contributions, they're taken for granted. Building the infrastructure, and I want to get your take on this as far as our disposability, we're easily replaced and all that. But according to this article, building the infrastructure, which men are responsible for, comes at a high cost. In the article, it says right here, it says, every year, thousands of men die in coal mines, railroads, sewers, satellite towers, and other dangerous work. We're being taken for granted. How do you see it over there in the Matrix, Blizzard Abroad?
I see it the same way. That's the burden of being a man. We all know the burden of being a man and our role in society. I think we have to accept it. We have to accept it.
Accept it or try to change it, or is that the right picture? Because they talk about a man box in this article. where, it's a very limited view of men today. These are my words. We're seen as either Andrew Tate, financially successful, in perfect shape, rich, handsome, brilliant, and athletic. He's the gold standard, guys like him. Or Pookie and Ray Ray, incompetent knuckleheads, who are, behind on their child support, multiple baby mamas, 50 years old, still wearing Jordans, with no redeeming qualities. But there's no in between. See, me and you, we're in between that. But you're either one or the other. You're either a simp or a savior. And I see it on my channel. Everybody wants to blame the simp on the men's problems today when there's a whole list of men in between the simp and the savior. But we want to talk about some stuff today that, like, issues that are facing men today.
Okay.
And what do you do? Okay, you're a football coach, right?
Yes.
Are you a football coach? Okay. So what age group of young men do you work with?
Varsity high school football.
Varsity high school football. Wow.
Yeah. So I started coaching the 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, like 16 years ago. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I slowly moved my way up to varsity high school now.
Yeah, congratulations. Now, because we're going to talk about sports, we might as well talk about that now. And men's obsession with sports. I mean, you can't say we just love it. It's an obsession. We spend billions of dollars, being loyal and following these teams. And, we put our hopes and dreams on the backs of these young men, almost to a fault. And, by you being a coach, because they always talk about, sports teaches us valuable life lessons, but it seems like they're lost when they leave the game, these lessons that we learn. Because you see, guys, once they no longer participate, they fall off. How do you see that? What are you teaching these young men about being men today? What's the conversation you're having?
The conversation is basically around building a brotherhood, like we want to talk about today. It's about building a brotherhood. Some of those friendships last for life. I've got guys I played football with that I'm still in touch with today, and you're talking about 30 years ago. But it's about building a brotherhood. It's about accepting your role within an organization, playing your part, taking accountability.
But
it could be powerful. But what happens with what I see is that, I'm a football coach. I love football, but I don't watch a lot of football on TV, a lot of pro sports any longer. Because you're right. You do lose the value of the lessons you learned once money is involved. That's all it's about.
Yeah. Do you see a problem with idolizing, mere men, really? I mean, it's an obsession. You see people, they will, to go to a football game, they'll forsake their rent or the car payment or the child support or something like that. I mean, we get into fights, arguments over these games, and, it's almost like what I was just talking about, us being insignificant and replaceable and disposable, because once LeBron leaves, now there's somebody else going to take his place. Once he's gone a year or two out of the league, people forget all about him. But what about this never-ending competition among men? Does that help or does that hurt the situation?
Hurts. It hurts. It's a huge distraction. We have a lot of distractions, especially here in America. To see the way that some guys, they put their all into these sports, man. I don't get it, but it is a huge distraction, and it's another divide. It's another way to divide us. I've seen friendships break up over sports. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous when, according to the definition of brotherhood, cooperation is what's needed. Because what I'm seeing here overseas, I've been, overseas almost 6 years now. It's the old versus the young, the rich versus the poor. the educated versus the uneducated, when we're all in this together. Society just looks at you as a man, really. There's no distinction. But there's Kaz right here. Hey, Kaz, put up your PayPal link, and I'll share it with my audience if anybody wants.
This is brother Kaz.
Yeah, to help you, because they were excited. He was sending me pictures of the baby. He had bought all this stuff, man. And I lost a granddaughter almost 4 years ago to SIDS. I don't know if that's the case. My daughter still hasn't recovered from that. I mean, she's still messed up behind that. And I just hope that they're able to work their way through it. But yeah, put that up. But let me talk about something else. Let me ask you about something else, about you being in sports and being a coach and everything. Because, they're talking about relationships, all type of relationships. What about homophobia? How do you feel about that? Is that something that gets in the way of you being a man? Does that offend you in some kind of way? Do you support it?
That's a tough one. I don't actively support it, but to each his own. To each his own. If I ever encountered a gay player, I would coach him like any other kid.
Yeah, but do you think that men had that because they know the ramifications, the pushback they're going to get? So you hear lately a lot of well, not a lot, but some pro athletes and entertainers and stuff, they're coming out, and really in today's world, it's like it's no big deal. It's like you're not gay, or something like that. But I notice in the manosphere, there's a lot of homophobia going on. I was raised up, and I don't give a damn. I'm not homosexual, so as long as you don't cross that line, we can still be friends. We can work together. We can play ball together, travel together, whatever it is, as long as you don't cross that line.
I think in our,
yeah. Go ahead.
I think in our community, it was shunned. We grew up not around a lot of gay people. In the Black church, it wasn't accepted. Maybe it is now. I'm not sure, but it was never culturally accepted, especially in the Black community, as much as it is now.
Absolutely. See, one of the issues that I want to talk about, I had no idea it was going to be in this article, but men being raped, especially in prison, it's like nobody seems to care, right? But eventually, these guys are released, wreak havoc on the community, really. Okay, so we're talking about incarceration. That's another way that men are disposed of, because we're disproportionately affected by the criminal justice system. And I'm not justifying people's crimes, but I'm just saying some people are languishing in prison for weed and drugs and nonviolent crimes. And rape is a result of that. Men just have no voice when it comes to that in society. We're just talking about some stuff today, the hidden cost of being a man in today's society. There's a cost we don't want to talk about. We want to brush it or sweep it under the rug like it doesn't matter. But it really does matter. It affects everybody. I had a brother who went to prison for 7 years. I don't know. He never talked about, he only talked about he bragged about it, basically, being locked up. For about the first year he was out, that's all his conversation was everybody what was going on, being a tough guy.
Yeah, they wear it like a badge of honor. I got a brother that probably spent 25 years altogether in prison. We don't talk about what happened in there. You got the guy that, what they call, I forgot his name, the booty bandit. He's going around doing interviews talking about how many guys in prison he raped. He's not being shunned. He's not being shunned.
Yeah, he's being celebrated. See, that's what I'm saying. Now imagine he could not do one interview like that if he was talking about going around raping women.
No.
They lock his ass back up because a guy wrote me yesterday. He asked me because the guy is from my hometown. I don't know him. I know the area that he, frequented, but I don't think he was no tough guy. If he was a tough guy among many because that was a tough guy's landscape where he was from. He didn't stick out. Those guys are either dead or doing life without parole. But he's being celebrated, and this is what I'm talking about. Men being raped is no big deal. Be a man, take up for yourself, and suck it in, and all that bullshit, man. Can you do me a favor? Just give me a brief definition of what being a man is to you.
Being a man is I can tell you what society wants you to be,
Yeah, let's do your definition first compared to what society is saying, because society's all over the place.
Being able to lead and follow, taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of your family, protecting your family, providing for your family. That's the basics for me. Outside of that, you can get to, building the infrastructure, but everyone doesn't participate in that. So
yeah,
I
with
think,
more and more,
the most important thing is being accountable, being responsible.
Yeah, good answer. The thing is it real? Does society have unrealistic expectations of what a man is? Because you said something about being the provider, right? Or being the protector. I want to talk about that because I talked about that on my regular live stream the other day. The economic pressure placed on men. Even though you got a man and woman in the household, the man is responsible for making sure that the family's okay. But see, that economic pressure is so great among men that some guys, they'll do anything not to fail. So they'll sell drugs. They'll create Ponzi schemes. They'll steal. They'll do all kinds of stuff, to get out from under that pressure, because that's the pressure of being a man. It's the hidden cost. We never ask guys why they committed the crime because we don't care. Just lock his ass up. But that economic pressure has a lot to do with it, man. I mean, really. I mean, you looked at a loser. You're doing all you can to make ends meet. It's not enough. So they ramp up the pressure. So you say, okay, I'm going to create the Ponzi scheme at church. All right, work. I'm going to steal from my employers rather, or whatever it takes. Failure is not, it's just not acceptable. But it is. You have to fail to succeed. If you're failing and making mistakes, that means you're trying, in my book. But we've got it all messed up. Okay, and then you talked about being the protector. See, we're looked at, this is unrealistic, man. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be able to handle whatever life throws at us. That's bullshit, man. Bullshit. Everybody's not cut from the same cloth. And it goes back to that man box that they were talking about. You either this simp, you can't do shit, you can't tie your shoes, or you this savior, you can do it all. But there's no in between. So that's just what I want to kind of talk about. We're not going to be on here long today, but we're going to be strong. We want to talk about stuff that really matters.
If you talk about 50-50, I think 50-50 would more look like the yin and yang signal, the yin and yang symbol. It's not equal split down the middle, but you bring something to the table that she won't, and she'll bring something to the table that you won't, But I think it is our job to be protectors of our family, not society at large, but because nobody else is going to do it,
Yeah. But let's keep it in perspective. Let's keep it in real life. Because remember, we're looked at as being disposable, that we're replaceable. So, like you said, if somebody comes in my house and tries to threaten my family, yeah, I'm going to take them out. But historically, remember, we're the first to war. We fight the wars. Okay, we build the infrastructure. We're the first into a burning house and the last to exit a sinking ship. Men are seen as disposable in our society. And that's something I think has to change. With all this whole equal rights stuff, yeah, well, get your ass out on the front line then. Okay? You start climbing some of these damn telephone poles and satellite towers and shit like that. But hey, cause you didn't put up your PayPal link, man. Don't be ashamed of that. Everybody needs help, man. We just want to help you if we can. Whoever wants to help him. I can't even imagine what you're going through right now. But, you can share some of that grief with us. But I think that economic pressure, man, is really what drives a lot of the foolishness that's going on in the world with men. I mean, we're hyper aggressive toward each other. It's like we got something to prove.
I've done things that I'm not proud of in my past.
Absolutely, but I got that on here. But we kind of getting ahead. But that's one of the solutions is forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes. Because hell, I'm 61. I'm sitting here with a boatload of mistakes, but I'm not going to repeat them. Okay, I'm going to try to go forward and do better. Because certainly I can. One of the biggest driving forces that will probably put me back in that matrix is my two sons. See, I had no idea they were going to end up over there. I thought they were going to be here. And maybe at some point they're going to be back here. But it's very, very important in society today and the way things are, this atmosphere right now that they really have somebody, they have their father to look up to teach them like you're teaching. Do you have children, Taj?
Yes. Yeah.
Boys, girls?
I have one biological son, then I have stepkids that, I'm still involved in their lives now.
Yeah.
But my son he'll be 21 this year.
So tell us a little bit about your channel. What do you talk about on your channel?
Initially, I started the channel. I just wanted to show, the guys that I work with, the guys that I'm close to, my friends and family, my trip to the Philippines, and because it's like you get bogged down, and a lot of us don't see a way out. We don't even think living a lifestyle that you're living is possible for us. So I'm just trying to change that narrative amongst the people that I relate to. Lately, I've been focusing a lot more on, men taking accountability, being accountable for the roles we play in our own lives, not blaming everything on women, not blaming everything on society at large, but just realizing that, every mistake I've made, every situation I've ever been in, I played a role in it. So I have to at least own my part in it.
Yeah, so that's basically what you're talking about. You're trying to be an example. You're trying to show other men, even your little inner circle, because we all have a circle of influence that they have options. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Basically, why you started your channel. Because I thought that's where the Passport Brother movement was going. And if that's the point, then it would be a great, movement, basically. But I've seen it turn. It's like it's all about women now. It's all about traveling today. I mean, I'm the only one talking about. I'm the only one who's overseas really talking about stuff like this that affect men. Everybody else is talking about women. And I just don't get it, man. And we're taking sides. There's no brotherhood. There's no unity. Nobody's on the same page. And then it's all about the women, man. And I don't understand that. So if I'm new and I'm watching these guys that's traveling around, like, I don't want none of that. Is that all it is? I'm working my fingers to the bone over here. The boss is on my back. I'm in a thankless relationship. My money's not going anywhere. I'm just living. I'm working to live, really. There's no savings. What options do I have? I want somebody to show me something like that. Like, hey, man, why don't you come over here to Vietnam, where, it's supposed to be one of the most affordable countries in the world. You can work remotely.
Exactly.
You can jump off that hamster wheel. It's all about time, health, and money, really. Especially with a man, we're living less than women. They're living longer because of the virtue of being born a man. There's more on our plate, man. I'm sorry. There's advantages to being a man, but there's a lot of disadvantages. So I think this brotherhood really is very, very important. They say each one teach one, right? That's an old saying, but it's true. There was a guy on my live stream yesterday, in my members only live stream. He said he's been in Thailand for 10 years and he's open to helping any new guy that's coming over there. That's what we need. We don't need somebody up here or some dating guru, somebody telling us how to find women, where to find women, because that's not your solution. Nothing outside of you is the solution. You're the problem. Look in the mirror. You're the problem. Whatever you're suffering with over there, it's going to be amplified over here. I hate to be the truth teller, but that's real.
That's why.
Like that.
That's why I've been pushing back against the manosphere talking points for recently, because it's some of it just makes no sense. They tell you hit the gym, makes more money, and go overseas and find a wife. I don't agree with that. Will that happen? Yes, but what if you're an alcoholic? What if you got mental health issues? What if you're you got social anxiety issues? You need to fix all those things first before I don't care how strong you are, how much money you are. If you're an alcoholic here, just getting on a flight and going overseas, you're still an alcoholic,
Man, boy, you said a mouthful right there. That's exactly right, man. And this is what I'm trying to get people to realize. But if what these guys are saying, it goes right along with that old man box. There's no in between. What's up, Off the Cuff Adventures with Jamie? But I think you gotta fix you first, because you're gonna bring your problems and your baggage right along with you. No woman's gonna fix that.
Exactly.
No woman's gonna fix that. You're gonna end up, getting yourself in more trouble, because you're gonna bring your problems and then mix them in with her problems, because she got problems. Okay, if you think you got economic pressure over there, when you come over here to a place like the Philippines, it amplifies 100 times. Okay, the pressure's really on you to take care of everything. And I don't think people are really getting the full picture. They just want some damn pussy. That's all they want. Hell, you could get that at home, because you got to pay for it anyway. Over here you do. Hey, Casman Flowers, you say, you're damn right, Cal. I realize I'm the problem, and I'm trying to correct that. Emotional stability is very important. Listening to the Dramatics. Yeah, tune up. Man, the Dramatics is one of my favorite groups, by the way. I grew up on the Dramatics. But yeah, we need to work on ourselves. That's where the solution is, the problem and the solution. Scott Bard says we are a generation raised by women. What makes you think a woman is what we all need, or to make one complete? Well, I just don't believe that 100%, Scott, because there's always a man somewhere These women are not single. They've got them. There's a man somewhere around. There's a stepfather somewhere around. Okay, and a lot of us, we really don't lose contact with our fathers. Yeah, he may not be in the household, but somebody's there. And we can be our own role models. But
Yeah, that's
to say you're a generation raised by women, that's talking points from the media. There's always a man somewhere around.
That's a big myth. That number is unwed mothers. That's like 70%. Doesn't mean there's no man involved. Half of them have a man, a stepdad in the house.
More than half. I'd say all of them. It's very few. They ride that single mother. They hold that big single mother flag up there, knowing good and well somebody's busting the brakes off of that. And I'm sorry, helping with the bills and all of that. And twin Monroe says, "What's up, guys? I'm an Air Force veteran, new to the channel and looking to relocate out of the U.S. myself with my son. Very motivational. Thank you. We just want to have the conversation. That's all we want to have. Because nobody else is having it. Yeah, you got these manosphere guys. You got a lot of good channels, but I'm talking about in the travel sphere. The travel sphere is all about women now. And we're trying to flip that script. I am. I'm tired of hearing about women. I mean, really, because that's not the solution, man. You're going to come over here and get yourself effed up. Hey, the Sigma Enigma, thanks for that super chat. He said, "Hey, Cal, I just secured 2 new clients. Boots on the ground. Thanks again for the advice." Hey, man, you're welcome. This guy, he became an insurance agent on my dime. He knew I was a retired agent. He said, "Hey, how do you living overseas?" And I shared my story, man. I ain't got no secrets. If I could help somebody, that's the thing. You get up there and you want to kick the ladder over. Well, you got to stop that, Blizzard Abroad.
Exactly.
I mean, really, man, if you really knew my story through recovery, I'm only here because people came out of the woodwork to help me, mainly strangers. My friends and family did not believe me, but these were strangers, man, that said, "Hey, come on, man. You going our way." They picked me up, gave me underwear, shoes, socks, because it was my fault. It was self-imposed, but no man's an island. And this is the bullshit rhetoric we got to get rid of. You can't do it on your own. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to need help somewhere along the line, man. You weak for not asking for help. Is the way I look at it.
I think that community is right over here in this chat right here. That I get so much inspiration. I get so much knowledge just in the Sunshine Shoulders community. It's there. Is it going to go worldwide? No, I don't think so, because we're not all on the same path. But I think you are leading the way. In my eyes, you are leading the way. In this chat over here, there's so much information being given every time you come up here.
Yeah, thank you, brother. And that's the whole point of making the channel. When I was watching YouTube before my channel, no one was talking to me. That's why I started my channel. I mean, basically, YouTube owed me $53. I couldn't get it until I got 100. But once I gained some traction and I said, man, people are listening, I would start talking about real life stuff, man, because people are selling everything. They really are looking for an out. But you want to do it the right way, because you don't want to out and then get in trouble. And that's what a lot of people are doing. They're saying, yeah, just come over here, get you a young woman, and all your problems are going to be solved. No, they're not. They're going to just get started. Hell, we retiring. Now you got to unretire yourself. Your pension may not be enough for 2 people, or 3 or 4, whatever the situation is. I would say come over here, because I share my good and bad. I made the mistakes already. You don't have to make them. But we use that excuse, oh, we're men, and men don't listen. Well, you're gonna pay some consequences then that we have to learn from our own mistakes and all that. Hey, make your mark. He says, in order to work on and fix yourself, you must first be completely honest with you and your situation. Most men cannot see their problems because they're afraid to look in the mirror. Thank you. That's what we're saying. We're the problem. It's not America, really. It's me. I wasn't able to deal with America over there. If I would have fixed me, if I go back home to America now, I can face it. I just got tired of it. Some of us need a vacation. That's really all we need. We don't need to vacate for good. But it's a decision you're gonna have to make. But some people just need a break. I was talking to a truck driver. This guy been driving truck for 9 years, never took a break. He's miserable right now. I said, man, get out of that damn cab. The damn road is not going anywhere. We get chained to these damn jobs and stuff, man. And the jobs become who we are. That job is not who you are, man. When you die, they're going to put somebody else behind that wheel. I'm sorry, man. But that's just the real life facts. Okay?
Exactly.
When that's what we do. Our loyalty is in the wrong place. Put it on yourself, man. Sometimes it's okay to think about yourself. That's what I told him. Treat yourself.
We got to start being more selfish. We got to start being more selfish. We're not taught that. Society doesn't tell us that. Society tells us, like you said earlier, it's a man's job to go out and conquer the world and build the infrastructure and hold his family down. But what about us? That's what I'm talking about on my channel. What about us? But also with that is the accountability too. Like the guy just said, looking in the mirror, realizing what your problems is, your faults are. I used to have a very bad temper. I realize that now, so I move accordingly. I keep myself out of situations. I remove myself from situations because the temper didn't go anywhere. I still have a bad temper. I just know how to manage it, and I know how to remove myself from situations before it comes up.
Yeah. Now you were talking about, society and all that rhetoric. But remember, that's the name of the podcast today, the hidden cost of being a man in today's society. There's the hidden cost associated with that. It sounds good. You're the provider, protector, the maintainer, but what about you? That's going to keep your nose to the ground. You got to do some maintenance, man. You can't just drive a car forever. You got to change the oil, change the brakes, give it a tune up. You got to do something, but we're not doing that. We're neglecting ourselves for the sake of somebody else. That's what the definition of niceness was. Some old bullshit behavior that's going to benefit somebody else at the expense of yourself. This is the kind of shit we're doing, man. People pleasing and all that. I had to get myself together. That's why my family keeps saying, oh, when you coming home, when I get ready. When I'm at home, y'all ignore me. My phone don't ring. You don't come and see me. You don't give me birthday salutations. But now, because I'm not somewhere around where you can touch me, now you're going to try to make me feel guilty. It's all about me today. I'm sorry. I'm in the fourth quarter. I done raised y'all. I done did everything I'm supposed to do. That's about being selfish a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, make your mark. Says we as me. Huh?
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I did it my whole life too, man. I thought the definition of a man was all those things. I put myself under my kids' needs. I put myself under my significant other needs constantly. It wasn't about what I wanted. I can honestly say until 2 years ago, I've probably never made an important decision in my life that didn't have someone else's best interest first. And
That's right.
I'm just waking up 2 years ago, man.
Golden Gate, thanks for that super chat. He said, Calvin, so true in the U.S. about men becoming their job. They lose self-identity and don't know who the real enemy is. They seek validation in the wrong places. Great podcast. Man, you coming right out of my notes right here. Our loyalty is displaced. Man, you got brothers, man, taking up for Joe Biden against me. Like, Joe Biden don't give a shit about you, dude. Why you defending Joe Biden? I mean, this guy was a long time follower, man. He's gonna get mad at me and throw me under the bus because I said Joe Biden needs to step aside, which he eventually did. But he's defending Joe Biden. Our loyalty's in the wrong place, man. These people don't give a damn about you. You know, these jobs don't give a damn about you. Society says you're replaceable, you're disposable. And until you realize that, until you really hear it and get it and let it sink into your subconscious mind, you're going to still keep up with that same bullshit. People pleasing, you know, thinking, oh, yeah, look at me, you know, working all them hours for the man. That man don't give a damn about you, man. You know, it's the same, you know, so I'm glad I'm not around right now for that election process going on over there. I mean, really. I mean, people get stupid, man. It says we as men need to put our health above anything else. We must be healthy in order to truly heal ourselves. Well, I've got a thing. I talk about time. If we manage our time better, if we manage our health better, if we manage our money better, we're unstoppable. There's nothing you can't do. There's no dream that you can't realize, but we won't do it. We take all of that for granted. So certainly time for granted. Health, you can reverse. Your money situation, you can reverse, but you cannot reverse time. Once it's gone, it's gone. So we got to try to do more and be more constructive with our time. What better way to spend your time than to take better care of yourself? Exercising, eating better. Okay, now you're going to become more productive, mean you're going to have more money, which comes around to the time again. Now you're going to have the time to do the things you really want to do. But it starts with time. We waste so much time, man, watching football games and stuff. Watching football games. Okay, watching these bullshit bloggers that aren't giving you any value. Okay, they're just talking about women, flashing women across the screen. When I'm telling you for 4 years that a woman is the least you have to worry about in Southeast Asia. You've been over here before, haven't you, Blizzard Abroad?
Yes, yeah.
Have you had any problems with women or getting a woman or?
Not at all. Approached in person. It's something that I don't even waste time talking about. Because we've all had, we're grown men. We're grown men. We can't be running around acting like we're teenagers again, you know.
But that's what we do. That's what I got right here. It stunts our growth, man. Our growth is being stunted.
I think we absolutely need to take the focus off
adults. We're not acting like mature adults. We are reverting back to our junior high school and high school days. You got guys who are actually out here bullying other men, are trying to bully them, not realizing that'll get your head blown off, man. Nobody's tolerating that. But you're a black man. You know, one of the big blogs that go around, I don't care where they are around the world, so stupid. Just such and such women love black men. Is that the stupidest thing you ever heard? Like we're inferior or something. You know, you should turn that around and ask us. Okay, because it doesn't hurt my feelings that some woman who has absolutely nothing, not a pot to piss in or window to throw out, whether she likes me or not. I'm happy that you don't. That's less problems I got to deal with. But this is the kind of stuff that this genre that has such great potential has turned into. Most of the people watching these vlogs are men. Why not just spit out a little bit of information that can help somebody? Somebody's listening.
I think we lose the message because we can't even define what a passport bro is. You're going to say it's one thing. I'm going to say it's a different thing. It hasn't been defined. So it'll be defined by the detractors, you know. You see how the pushback was, you know.
You said it though. If just the brothers could be what you said, where you're trying to influence the people around you to get out and see that there's more options and everything like that, to be the example, that would be good enough. But it's not that. It's everything but that. It's just basically this never ending competition against the young guys against the old. I got more money than you. I got more education than you.
Yeah, the same thing they're doing right here at home. It's the same thing.
Yeah, we're wasting a prime opportunity to be of some service, of some help to people. Because I know from my personal experience, I was struggling over there, man. And I told my wife at the time, I said, look, I got a plan. I'm getting the hell out of here. Either that or I'm going to die. And she agreed to the plan till we got over here. And in 6 months, she ready to go back home. I'm like, I'm sorry. I gave up everything, sold everything. I'm here to stay for a little while. I got to heal. I can't heal in the place that's hurting me. And she couldn't understand that, you know. And so it was like this, but I had to put myself first at the expense of my marriage. Okay, I'm sorry. That's what he's saying. He said, men have to stop the Mr. Nice Guy Act. It's impossible to save everybody. Self-preservation.
But at the same time,
if we just talk about
we're
your
being
problems,
told that we must do that, you know?
But if we just discuss our problem and our real life situations, somebody's going to relate because you're really not unique, Blizzard Abroad. But we won't do it. Here's the problem as I see it. We walk around like we got it all together. When you know you don't have it all together, but the good news is you don't have it all. You don't have to have it all together. But that's the way we look. And then we compare ourselves to these just unrealistic people out there. You're not Andrew Tate and all those other guys. You're just not. You're yourself. Be the best you can be. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. He said, Calvin, you just described my life and the reason I'm leaving. My family doesn't even care about me whatsoever, so I don't feel guilty about putting myself first anymore. Man, I'm going to tell you, when they bury your ass, okay, they're going to grieve for about 2 weeks and then life goes on. That's just facts right there. Sperling Edwards says, I had to stop talking with my family in the 90s over some stupid crap they did that made it easy for me to come here. He said, yeah, Joe Biden over brother. Wow, unbelievable. No, it's not unbelievable, because if you start talking, man, and to some of these people and tell your true feelings, you're going to see where they stand. It's not with you. Our loyalty is displaced. It's with others. It's with these old basketball and football and baseball and hockey teams that don't give a damn about you. They're not going to move you in the right direction 1 inch. Okay, and they talk about all that teamwork and the lessons learned from sports. The minute those guys leave the team, they fall off, man. They forget about all the stuff that Blizzard Abroad is teaching them right now. Because evidently it doesn't go deep enough. It's all about money. You know, they're not giving back at all. But you'll fight me over. I mean, he literally was hot with me. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was you know how they impersonate your profiles now. I thought it was somebody impersonating him. No, it was him. Because I said, man, Joe Biden needs to step down. Who the hell are you? You know, when the last time you voted, blah, blah, this. Why don't you make a video and say Trump should step down? Trump should step down too. I'm not afraid to say that. Okay, but Biden eventually stepped aside because I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. This clown froze on national TV. It's time for more of us to push back like that. We should demand better clients. Do you think that Kamala Harris is going to help you? She didn't. Look at her record.
But
and they'll come at me for that.
We can't talk about
She certainly don't like men. She certainly don't like black men. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to tell it how I see it.
We can't talk about politics in America. What's the three most important influences that we have over our life? Nobody wants to talk about, and that's politics,
Man,
religion, and money.
uh,
Politics, religion, and money. What's the first thing people are going to say? Oh, I don't talk about politics. Like, why
yeah,
not? It's important. It's important.
exactly.
They got us
Man, you right.
scared to talk about it.
Man, you right. And race and all that. The real
Yeah,
important stuff, they say, hold up, don't discuss that. People will get on my
yeah.
channel and say, I don't talk about politics. Shut up, man. I talk about what I want to talk about. It's important. What are you going to do? Keep being led around by this select few people, you know, for the rest of your damn life, these privileged cocksuckers that don't give a shit about you. They can't relate to your situation. They're not doing anything to help you. I'm glad I was raised in a household that told me I better have my shit together, no matter who the damn president is.
I
Okay?
was saying, in the previous video, my congresswoman, she was a high school teacher. She was making $70,000 a year when she left one term ago. She's a multimillionaire now after one term in Washington. That we have nothing
Yeah.
in common with these people, but we're arguing with our neighbors. We're fighting with our own neighbors, and being loyal to some people down in Washington that don't give a damn about any of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Our loyalty is displaced.
Exactly.
Our loyalty is displaced, man. And until we get that right, we're not gonna make much progress. We need more brotherhood. I mean, if you come over here to the Philippines, ask anybody's come to my house, I'm gonna open up my door to you until you show me that I need to shut it. I mean, we're 8,000 miles away. You know, change starts with me. I can't sit around and wait for somebody else and the circumstances and all that. Now is always the right time. There's never the right time. Now is always the right time. But there's just very little brotherhood. If you watch, you know, the vlogs and everything like that. But in real life, it is. If you see my meet and greets and stuff like that, they're off the chart, man,
Yeah.
because people are on the same page. They've admitted that they need other people over here. You can't do it by yourself over here, man. You get trapped up in one of these provinces and one of these old concrete jungles over here, man. You're not going to last long. Lee says, I cannot wait to get off the hamster wheel. 2028 is the year I leave America and finally get to live my life. Thank you, sir, for the boots on the ground information. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Lee. Until then, take a vacation, man. Don't sit there into 2028. You may not make it. You know, pressure burst pipes, man. What's wrong with you getting out and seeing what's out here for 2028? Don't wait. But yeah, congratulations, man. He said, passport bros are men who go overseas for better opportunities. Those opportunities can be anything, but it's to strive for a better way of living. Yeah, but it begins with you.
That's your definition. Now, you ask another man, they're gonna have a different definition. If you ask me, my definition of a passport, bro, I'm gonna say a man that has a passport and uses it to pursue his desires. That's it. It's as simple as that.
And that's basically, and then a lot of our desires has become pussy. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
you're
You
right.
know, it's not trying to get my money to go further or, you know, realize the dreams that have been put on hold in my home country. Okay. Like starting a business. Let me tell you something. The dot that you've been living on your entire life, because most of us live on a damn dot. We don't go anywhere. 19% of people in the United States have never left their state. That's too many people. Okay, Louisville, Kentucky, where I grew up, and where I spent the majority of my life, 334 square miles lives abroad, where the world is approximately 197 million square miles. Now, is it any, it's no mystery why I'm so frustrated. When I'm running around my whole life on that one little dot, exchanging women, exchanging jobs, You know, what I'm looking for is probably out here somewhere. Okay. The business opportunity and everything like that is probably out here somewhere. But it begins with me. But it's not going to be on that dot that most of us spend our lives, our whole entire lives. We work that job for 40 years. We raise a family, and then we die. That's what most of us, that's our life style right there. You know, okay, this is powerful here. He says, I'll be 70 in a year. If I live to be 80, that means I have 540 weekends left, which is crazy, right? One guy got on here. Let me ask y'all the same question that I asked a gentleman on my live stream. I said, would you rather know when you're going to die, or would you rather not know? Would knowing when you're going to die, Blizzard Abroad, would that make you live your life with more boldly, with more gusto, or the fact that you don't know when you're going to die, will that make you live your life more boldly, with more gusto? I'm asking y'all this, but the real answer is neither one, because you're not doing it. You don't have the answer to either one of those questions, and you're not living boldly. You're not living with more gusto. It's not going to make a damn difference. That's the sad part, that we've taken life for granted. What the man say, we've all won this cosmic lottery. Religion and all this stuff is just our attempt to understand how we got here, why we're here, and all that. The fact is, you're here, man. You better make the best of it, because you could wake up dead at any time.
Most of us are procrastinators anyway. You know?
Yeah, that's human nature. Most people want it easier. Okay, they want the easier, softer way. That's just human nature. We don't want to fight for it. We don't want to work hard for it, really, because that's the people who are way up there, the 1% or the 10% of the 1%. While we're sleeping, they're doing the hard shit. Like Bill Gates went out in the desert for 7 years to create that Microsoft. Took him and his team with him for 7 years. Went off the radar. You know, he delayed the gratification. We want instant gratification. So it's easy to distract us. It's easy to get us. He says, being black is a filter, he says. If you're white, all Filipinos want you. Scammers, bar girls, regular girls. If a Filipino gets with a black, likely likes the man. So in the Philippines, no scammers come to me or target me. I don't believe that, man, because
I don't believe
that. With my platform, you know, like at my meet and greets, mostly black guys show up. So when people write me about their problems, it's black guys, man. We're getting scammed and everything, like every.
Yeah, you a man, and you got money. Somebody's gonna try to get it from you,
and all that. But it's the man, though. It's not the women. We lay down over here for these women. They don't have to scam you. But you think that you're a white man and they hunting you down over here. Some of them might be, but that's just not true. And again, it doesn't hurt my feelings, because the women that we deal with in Southeast Asia, they don't have a god dog thing. They don't have a damn pot to piss in. So you're not hurting my feelings, dude. You know, I know who I am. Okay? You can think my body's replaceable, but ain't too many sunshine shoulders out here, lady. You can roll the dice if you want to. Okay? He says, even if when you have it all together, you can still not be happy. Well, you know, if you live in realistically, man, you can't let society determine your happiness. We're responsible for our own happiness. You got to find out what makes your, what? Okay, what do you want me to do? It's Hubble. The Hubble. It's a pillow. Booby will be 4 years old on Monday. You're getting too big. Get the Hubble and get out of here. You know, you got to defend all that. What makes me happy? Then do it. Then spend your time doing what you love to do. Spend your time being around the people you want to be around. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Doing what you want to do. A lot of us are on jobs that we hate. Do you love your job, Visitor, bro?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't hate it.
How'd you get the job? Is that something you grew when you were born? You said, "Hey, I want to be whatever it is you're being right now."
No, not at all. I took a job. I needed to feed my family. So I took a job with good benefits. And 22 years later, I'm very good at it. I'm probably one of the best in my state. So it pays well. So
Yeah, but that wasn't your dream.
No, not at all.
Right? What happened to you? What happens to our dreams then? Where do they go? If a lot of guys, because
reality sets in. We make decisions I made decision that I wanted to, have a kid and get married before I finished pursuing my dream. So it got cut short. I gave it up. I wasn't forced to give it up.
Yeah, because a lot of times when I see successful people on television, no matter what it is, or in a lecture or a speech, they always say, I dreamed of doing this. But a lot of us, our dreams turn to dust for some reason, because I guess we don't have the fortitude to keep going despite the problems and obstacles, because that's nature's way of sifting out the pretenders. So a lot of us are on jobs that we really don't like. We're with women we really don't want to be with because our self-esteem is low. We're basically with women who want us, a lot of us. It's not the woman of our choosing. I mean, if you can be honest about that, you'd be like, well, what's going on with me? Why aren't I with the people I really want to be with? Why aren't I doing the job I really want to do? It's you. It's not them. What's up, Don? He said, that's what they want, a divided America. Well, hell, it's been divided. For some, I mean, when hasn't it been divided?
Yeah, they don't need to do much to keep us divided.
Yeah.
We do it ourselves.
Yeah, he says, I served over 25 years in the Marines, and I know the importance of a brotherhood and looking out for each other. And see, we'll even put the service above ourselves. And we put everything above our unity as men. When you left the service, okay, that means that you should be, if you learn the importance of a brotherhood, because so many people that come over here, they've either been in the service, they retired from the service, but it's almost like sports. You learn those valuable lessons, but once you leave the arena, you forget all about them or you stop practicing them. And I'm not talking about you, Mick, your Mark. I'm talking about so many of us. Because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have the problems that we're having. People always talk about the competition and the aggression of men toward other men, and they always say, oh, it's just human nature and all. That's bullshit, man. We need more cooperation. He says, hello, gentlemen, is this a podcast or a live stream? Well, see, you have to understand, a podcast is it's whatever you want it to be. It's just, a lot of the podcasts I see, they're no different than a live stream. I was watching The Pivot. Is that one of the popular podcasts? Hell, it just looks like a live stream I have. They got a guest. It's three of them, and they'll have one guest, and they just sitting around. They're not in the studio or anything like that. Don't get that twisted. It doesn't matter. We're having a conversation.
It's a conversation. I don't know the difference anyway, so.
Yeah, me either. Roger Lee says the one main thing we don't talk about, how and why politics in Washington especially become rich. Yeah, is the campaign donations. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw, they get to keep and all the money they raise. Is that right? Do they get to keep that money?
I'm not sure. I hope not. Something needs to be done about that if that's true.
Well, I see where Trump accepted an offer to debate Harris on ABC. So they're paying him. You know what? But we're asleep, man. We're asleep at the wheel. Trump's not going to save y'all. Harris is not going to save you. Nobody's going to save you but you. And this is where we get in trouble. We're so lazy. We want somebody else to save us. Save your own damn self.
Save yourself.
You a man, save your own damn self. I was talking to a preacher one time, and this is real talk, man. I walked from Louisville to Lexington in 2005, and I needed a sponsor. Well, my brother talked to this, big time preacher with, one of these mega churches. He said, "Yeah, I will, but I want some references. I want to talk to the guy first." And we were just having a conversation. He agreed, and he said, "When you pray," he said, "you're really praying to yourself." This is a preacher now. He's got one of the biggest churches in Kentucky. He said, "Because you're your own savior." That's what he said. And it really messed me up when he said that. To hear that coming from a preacher, he wasn't talking about some, white man in the sky with a beard. But I've always known that, you better stand on your own 2 feet. Give a damn who the president is. He said, "I'd rather not know." He said, "I'd rather not know, but live my life like my end date is coming." But are you doing that? This is what we got to be honest. Is it really making a difference? Does it make a difference with you, Blizzard Abroad, whether you know it when you're going to die or you don't know when you're going to die? Has it made you live any better? Honestly.
No, I don't think
Has
so.
it made you live any bolder?
I don't think I would want to know. I don't think I would want to know, but I don't think it would make a difference in the way I live,
So what's going to make the difference then? Because neither one of them is going to make a difference. Why aren't we taking more chances? What's holding us back? That's one of the reasons people don't look outside of their present circumstances for a solution or another option because they're afraid. They're afraid to take chances. They live these hesitant, halting lives. You can be too cautious. You can be too cautious, right? You can be overly cautious, but you can damn sure be too cautious. What did Michael Jordan say? Yeah, you miss every shot you don't take. You miss every shot you don't take.
I see it every year. Being a football coach, I see it every year. We have to take these. There's always a few kids that won't try their hardest because they're scared that if they try their hardest and fail, then that they're a failure. I don't know if that comes across the right way, but it's fear of failure. It's big. We don't talk about it as men.
You're telling the truth, but that's one of our major fears is the fear of failure. So we don't even try. And there's a stigma connected to failure when you don't have no idea that the successful people, the one thing they have in common, they failed over and over and over and over till they found the right thing to do. But we're afraid to fail. There's a stigma. So we don't even try. That's why you don't approach the 10. The woman you really are attracted to, you won't approach her because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid to fail. Oh, I may not recover. Guess what? You're going to live to see another day. But we just take the easy way out, the safe way. So I'm going to get the chubby girl in the corner that does, the shy and nobody's approaching. I'm going to marry her. Then you're miserable. Or I'm going to take the job as a dishwasher. And, the qualifications on all that. I get a paycheck every week. I'm able to take care of my family. That's not a way to live, man. I'm telling you, as a salesman who was out there on commission, guys, only for so many years, if I didn't get it done, it changed my life. It made me a more bolder person. I had no paycheck coming in. If I didn't get out there and get it done, guess what? We starved. But I learned a lot about myself. So no matter what, man, I know that I can get it done. As long as I got my help and strength in me, it always turns out the right way. It always turns out good. But if you're afraid to open up that damn door, man, you don't know what's on the other side. He said, all dreams die a slow death if you do not pursue them. Right. He says, as men, we need a global support group. And this is a great start, Cal. Thank you. Y'all think I'm just talking to support stuff now? Ever since I came on my channel, because I saw it, I needed it. I was over here for years. I've been coming over here on and off over 15 years. It was crickets, man. I mean, you're here, you're in the Philippines. You're not going to change the Philippines. But you're around, you hear all those languages. You don't understand them. You don't laugh at their jokes. They don't laugh at yours. You can't celebrate with them because, you're not part of the culture. You need this type of camaraderie. You need somebody to come over here and talk about Trump's stupid ass or something like that, just to shake you awake. What's up, Mr. Bryant? Yeah, you're right. I was going to make that the discussion, but I said I'm not going to pick on the Passport Bro movement, because it's all over the place, and people wouldn't understand it. They would misinterpret it if, like, I'm putting it down. I'm not, but that's what I asked the question. Where's the brother in Passport Brother? I mean, where's the brotherhood? We're all over the place, fighting each other. We've taken sides. I'm the leader. I'm the leader.
I would say it's the brother and Passport Brother is the same place it was when those guys were in the U.S. It wasn't there.
Well, see, he's saying the same thing we were saying. It's all about women more so than the unity and experience. It is. They're traveling to date, man. Well, they don't call it a passport, brother. They call it a sex pass. That's what they call that when you travel for sex and travel to meet women, because that's the whole discussion. Is he dealing with a real woman, or does she only want him for his money? Who gives a damn? He's in a whole different country, living his life on his terms. We never look at that. People listen to me, but they never watch me. They never look at the life I'm living. I can't fake that. You might not agree with anything I'm saying, but I'm living the life. I'm doing the damn thing. I jumped off that hamster wheel at 55. I didn't know what lay ahead of me, but I had confidence in myself. But yeah, he's right. It is all about women, man. I mean, I'm tired of talking about women all the damn time. But 90%, 95% of the viewers of these channels are men. They're armchair bros. They're couch bros. So you got to give them that information. They're the ones keeping this stuff afloat, Blizzard Abroad. So I'm just letting you know, because you're a new vlogger. But you don't have to stay stuck in it. They want you to just do it every video. Oh, where's the best women? How to meet them? Sex.
No, I won't do it. I won't do it. I don't have a lot of viewers, but most of my viewers, they're between the age of 25 and 35. They're young, and that's why I talk the way I talk. I believe if a woman is gonna be the reason why you're uplifted, then she's gonna be the reason for your downfall. Also, you have to depend on yourself. And it wasn't until I started really looking in the mirror, taking ownership of my own problems, I seen like a weight lifted off of me, man. I wasn't as angry at America. I've never been angry at women, but it's like, all right, I know what's wrong with me. I need to fix myself.
Absolutely. We have to become more attractive, like a human magnet, man. You heard them talking about, then you're going to attract to you everything that you desire. But you can't become attractive unless you're going to start working on the problem, which is yourself. See, I want to become unstoppable. Manage my time better, my health better, my money better, become so attractive that everything that I desire is going to be attracted to me. Just by default, man. But we're not doing that. We've demagnetized ourselves. We become unattractive. Take the magnification out of the damn magnet and see what it draws to itself. Nothing. You demagnetize. Most of us watching this channel right now are demagnetized. You have to become magnetized again. You're not gonna have to work. Man, my mother told me when I was 8 years old, if you take care of yourself, a woman is the least of your worries. This is coming from a woman. What's up, Roger? But we don't want to do the work. We're lazy. We're mentally lazy. Because I don't know if it was Casman Flowers. Somebody asked me, said, Cal, how do you stay motivated to go to the gym? Well, I'm like anybody else, man. I don't want to go. But once I get there, now it's on. See, once you get started, you're halfway finished. Getting to the gym is my biggest problem. Not when I get to the gym. It's getting there.
Walking through that door. Once you walk through the door, it's on.
Yeah, Marilyn had to talk me into it yesterday because I ate some tuna fish sandwiches early, and I was like, oh, I ate too much. And she was like, it's okay. Once you get to the gym, you're going to be okay. Because I was going to lay down. I was going to use that as an excuse not to go. Man, but once I got there, man, I'm so happy when I get to the gym, man. And you get to sweating, man, your muscles is hurting. You know you're putting out that effort, man, and it's going to pay off. But just getting there is the problem.
Yeah, you inspire me to work out more. You inspire me to work out more, man. I said this 60-year-old man look better than a lot of the people I know. That's my age. I'm 46. You know.
I used to run marathons. You know, I ran a mini marathon. That's the longest I've ever run. But I run all kind of 10K and all that 5K. And what used to inspire me to keep me going when I got tired, these old ladies would run past me with silver hair. I mean, and old men. I'd be like, what in the world? You know, and it's all here, man. You know, you are a man with a body. That's what you are. If you can't control this, you're not going to control anything else. Liz LeBron, you know, that's what Napoleon Hill said. He said, yeah, this is his words. He said, God gave you control over but one thing, your man. If you can't control that, you're going to control anything else, man. It's getting control of this, but we let everybody else have control of it. You said it earlier, we're distracted. Yes. You got to protect what goes in here, man, because what goes in is going to come out. So when people beating you down, tell you nothing. I look at your big lips, your big nose, you know, your dark skin, you know, and you start believing that stuff. Oh, you in trouble, man. Okay? Hey, Adventure Seeker, thanks for that super chat. He said, great to see you live again. 3 months left and the hamster wheel will be in the rearview mirror. Lots and lots of planning and discipline went into this. Hey, thank you, man. Absolutely. Congratulations. Because you left something out when you said lots of planning and self-discipline went into this. That's what we need, more self-discipline. It's easy to punch that clock at 8 o'clock every morning because you know if you don't, you're going to lose your job. Self-discipline is doing the things you know you need to do when you need to do them, when nobody else is looking, you know. It's like going to the gym. It's like eating better. That's self-discipline. Putting the candy bars down, drinking more water. That's self-discipline. Nobody's watching you. Nobody's going to fire you from your job. He said, once you're there, you've driven, biked, or walked your way there. You're saying, your man, hey, I may as well do a few workouts. Yeah, it's getting there is the problem. But you got to have some dreams. How many people write down their dreams? How many people have written down their dreams, really? It's not enough to keep it up here. Even though you got a magnificent man, because you're going to forget them as we get older. You're going to forget your goals. Write them down where you can see them all the time. Because it's a universal law that when you see that stuff over and over and over, even a picture of the house you own, the watch you want to wear, the clothes, the job, it all eventually going to get into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is like a human GPS. It's actually what the GPS was designed after. It's going to find the quickest route to your goal. It works
you
backwards.
need a reference, and you need a
Yeah.
reference because times
need a
get
reference.
hard. You need to look at something and say, "This is what I'm doing this for. This is what I'm suffering for.
That's right.
You know, this is what I'm working these long hours for." You know, we need that.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you're going to give up. That's why people give up. You think, oh, I'm doing all this for nothing. He said, being consistent is usually the problem. He said, I'm also, let's say MMLSO to the host and chat. We need Blizzard's voice louder for the next generation of men. Absolutely. We need more Blizzard of Bras, more Sunshine Shoulders, more people who are talking about something other than women. Because women aren't the problem. If they're the problem, then they're certainly not the solution.
That's Icy Fit on YouTube. Everybody should check her out. She's very smart. She's Filipina, Japanese. She has a lot of information also. Good conversation.
He says, I'm not going to allow the world to make me hate myself ever again. That's why I'm taking my health so serious now. And, you know, go back to something you just said. This isn't about men against women. Okay, but they have the resources. They got the support, Blizzard Abroad, that we don't have. We need to get it. We got limited support networks, man, among men. We just don't have the resources, nowhere on the level of a woman. I saw that a long time ago, man. When I brought my Filipino wife to America, there was a network waiting for her, support group waiting. Do you need a job? Do you need a ride? Do you need a place to stay? Do you need Filipino food to eat? It was all there for her. When we come overseas, it's nothing waiting for us but crickets.
No,
it's nothing
they got
waiting
the
for us.
They got the sisterhood. We got the barbershop. You know.
Yeah.
I stopped going to the barbershop because I couldn't sit around a bunch of men gossiping, you know, and complaining. I said, if we're not gonna do something about it, you know, we need to stop talking. We need to do something about it.
That's right. Action speaks louder than words. Reginald Brown says, if you're lucky enough to reach the dreams on your list, find more things to add to. Absolutely. Always have something to look forward to that's going to make you jump out of bed. That wants to make you keep going, man. Because that's true. You always got to have a new list, a new bucket list. When I was really on my game, man, I mean, somewhere around 2008, all the way to like 2011, I had reached every goal on my paper but one. Because at that time, I wanted to meet Barack Obama. That's the only thing I didn't do. But once I figured out, well, I don't even want to meet him anymore, I didn't make another list. And I suffered because of that. That was the only thing I didn't do. I mean, really, man. I mean, I was rolling at that time. I was earning about $25,000 a month, man. I'm talking about that's big money for somebody like me without a college education, you know, born basically, you know, to a family. My father left, my mother went on food stamps and all of that. Just $1,000 a week seemed out of reach for me. It got to the point I had 20 agents working underneath me, brand new convertible, 3,700 square foot house, all of that. But then all of a sudden, I didn't have nothing to look forward to, man. And I suffered from that. I started going backwards. Gambling. I wasn't drinking or anything, but gambling, a lot of my money away. Relationship went down to
complacent, spending your
complacent. Yeah, that's right. That's what happened. So he's exactly right. I always have a list of stuff. See, I've already got another thing I'm working on over here. We're gonna buy these little small lots, cheap lots. There's a lot of them over here. Something that I can do over here, I can't do at home. We're going to build these tiny homes, and we're just going to sell them, man. You know, everything's in place to do that. That's my goal. That's what's going to keep me active. You know, other than being on YouTube, having meet and greets, you know, forming these support groups for men and things like that. And it's going to give Maryland something to do. You know, because I'm not going to babysit. I'm not going to take care of a grown-ass woman. You got to do something. I'm sorry, man. I'm not, you know, we retire these young women. We do them a disservice. We think we're doing them a favor. You're not. Okay, imagine if
I'm not retiring nobody, man.
Yeah, but that's what we do, man. I mean, it's just the reality of it. If you're over here, you see it. You see women 20 years old, 25 years old, they don't work. Why do they have to work? They got a man with a pension who's doing everything. But then once they get to a certain age and the man is gone, they have nothing to lean on, to fall back on. It would be like you stop and work right now, Blizzard Brawl, and then when you got your Social Security, guess what? It's going to be little to nothing.
Yeah. I think that would be a huge disservice. You know, what you retire a 20-year-old woman and, you know, maybe you pass away when she's 40. What skills does she have to survive? You know, what's she going to do?
You're doing her a disservice because now she's going to jump back on the dating site and get with another swinging Tom, Dick, and Harry and repeat the process. You know, basically selling herself. You know, and if you care about a woman, you know, you're going to try to, if I'm happy, everybody around me is going to be happy. If I'm eating, everybody around me is going to eat. That's just how I am. That's how I was raised. But if I'm sick, everybody around me is going to be sick. If I'm depressed, and this is what is going on in our lives, man. You know, one of the reasons I got sober because, you know, I was just sick and tired, but coming home and seeing my little daughters, you know, when you see them looking at you and you know you done fucked up the money, you know, you're saying, I can't keep doing this to them. You know, even though that's not what's kept me sober, I had to do it for myself. When you got those little kids looking up to you, when you got people that depend on you, who can't take care of themselves, when you do have to be the man, it'll make a difference, man. But if you coming home all the time, there's nobody there, you're only responsible for yourself, man, you may drift out there for some more years. But yeah, he says, stay motivated. Let your downfalls be the fuels to push you into success. There's nothing wrong with failing. Fail your way to success. Now you know what doesn't work. But people think this is just a bunch of talk. It's not, man. It's real life. You're afraid to take the...
That's the absolute truth. The absolute truth.
Because we only see people when they're successful. Whitney Houston, they said it took her 10 years to become an overnight success. But we don't see all the messed up recording sessions and all that. We don't see all of that. We don't see all the failures.
I was talking to somebody. They said they wanted Elon Musk money. I said, man, that man works 20 hours a day. Are you willing to do that? No. Yeah, you willing to do that? Push yourself to the damn limit. I mean, you see these bodybuilders, and we look at them, you think, I don't want to look like that. Yeah, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to go on those extreme diets that they live on? Man, it's tough making it to the top. That's why when people hit the lottery, they don't stay up there. They don't keep that money. You didn't earn it. He says, I got something to talk about this because he's right about this for a lot of reasons. He says, I'm selling all my possessions to make this move. Also, everything is more expensive over here, and I'm taking a chance overseas. See, I don't have a plan B, Blizzard Rod. I only have one plan. I don't have a plan B because I know me. It's going to stop me from giving everything I got.
either you win or you perish. That's how I look at it. Okay, if I've got that plan B over here, it's going to take away some of my focus. It's going to take away some of my attention. I'm not saying I don't have an emergency plan, because I do, but I don't have a plan B. Did you hear the story about the general who took his army? They sailed to the distant land of their enemy. And once they got there, he burned all the ships that brought them there. Now, of course, this is a much smaller army. And he said, we either win or we perish. Well, guess what? They won. Sometimes you put yourself in that position, man, where you have no choice but to give it everything you got. You're going to win.
Yeah.
But if you got all this,
burn the boats.
He burned the boats, man. Yeah. You either win or we perish. Sometimes you got to put yourself in that position. That's when I'm at my best, man, when there's nobody around to help me.
I have a plan. It's 3 years out. It may be 4 years, 5 years. When everything lines up, that's when I execute my plan,
Yeah. But in the meantime, you still got to be doing other things.
Doing the work.
You don't have to wait for 3 years to come over here. Like the guy says, hey, I'm retiring in 2028. Well, if you want to get out now just to see what you got to look forward to. You don't want to wait to 2028. Hell, you might be in a wheelchair.
No, I'll be honest. As soon as I figured out that's where I wanted to go, I booked that flight pretty quick,
Yeah.
I was anxious to get over there,
And Corporal Davis, he said, the maker of the telephone had many failures. Alexander Graham Bell. Well, they said that Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times, creating the iridescent light bulb, which of course he had help and everything. But he said it came to him in a dream. The answer came to him in a dream. But he said, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found out 10,000 things that didn't work. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid to fail. I'm sorry. That's just life. You're going to fail. It's getting up. That's what determines who you are. How many times can you get knocked down and get up?
You have to be willing to learn. You're not going to get it on the first time. A football reference. We will not run a play in the game that we haven't practiced at least 100 times and gotten it right. It just is. It's gonna fail in the beginning, but that's how you learn. How else can you learn without making an attempt?
Yeah. Tweaking it, right? Then you tweak it.
Yes.
Or you see something that the quarterback's not doing. Man, you hesitate. The running back, especially, because I was a running back and a fullback.
Exactly.
They'll say, don't hesitate. Hit the damn hole.
Hit that hole.
But what I did for 10 times, he give me the ball, I'm looking around. No, you got to trust the process. Yeah. You got to, have confidence that those guys up front are going to do their job.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see first if they doing their job before I run. No, it's too late now. They done tackled you in the back.
But you have somebody there saying, look, man, it's going to work if you give it your all. If you do it the right way, Calvin, it's going to work. Trust yourself.
Yeah. I think that's what we're doing as vloggers. We're saying, man, no matter how much doubt you got, look, get on over here. There's some things you can do. We're being an example. We're telling you, yeah, the play's going to work. Out of Ordinary says, good point. I think I'm messing up with having like 3 plans and I can't pick one. Absolutely. You are messing up. Your attention you're being distracted by those other plans. Have one damn plan and execute that. Yeah, we're afraid of hard work. All we see with these guys, because they pop on the scene, is the success. We don't see what got them on the scene. All of a sudden, Elon Musk popped on the scene. Now everybody wants to be Elon Musk. but you don't want to do the things that he did. And you're not Elon Musk.
That's why I wish we would get more regular people to just talk about their experiences over there. Like I was sad when Pumpkin Joe, stopped uploading. You see me all the time pushing 53 Shades to, we need to hear from these guys. And I said it before, I'm still in the US. I'm still in the Matrix. I need to see people win. That's why I'm rooting for you guys. I'm always rooting for you guys. I need to see people win. You guys are my motivation. I'm just starting out. Imagine seeing Sunshine Shoulders before he got on the plane for the first time. You got a powerful story, but it'd be even more powerful.
Yeah, see, a lot of people give up. They say, well, nobody's watching. They don't realize that every vlogger really started out that way. Nobody starts out with a following. They don't realize how long I talked into the universe. There was nobody listening to me. Okay. The only reason those old videos of mine have views now is because people went back and watched them after I gained some traction. Man, I was on here for about a year before anybody knew who the hell I was, except certainly before I earned 1 penny off of YouTube. They think I just popped up one day and all of a sudden, there he is. He's got 59,000 subscribers and, 200 people watch his live streams and all that. No, man. I just kept going because I knew in my heart that I had something to offer, man. Nobody was talking to us, the regular guys. They just wasn't doing it, man. And the sugary bullshit that they was talking about, I couldn't relate to. I'm like, this is not the life I'm living over here. Okay, the good, the bad, the in between, so a lot of guys, I think that's one reason Pumpkin Joe gave up, because he mentioned it. He said, man, I'm making all these videos. I'm just not making any progress. Sometimes you got to tweak it. Like you said, I told him a long time ago, don't be afraid to talk about, relationships. And, I told him, I said, man, don't be afraid to say booty on your channel, because otherwise men aren't going to follow you. Yeah. That's, 95% of this audience is men. And a lot of them are hungry. Okay, if you're not talking about women, if you're not showing women and all that stuff, good luck. They're not coming back. Okay?
I know. I'm experiencing it now,
Yeah, I mean, but just stay the course. If I would have quit, man, because I'm going to tell you, I made some videos, man, in the beginning. I get 63 views, the whole 9 yards, man. But I got some help from some men, though. I'm not going to lie. I got some help from some men. The very first help I got was from a guy called Black Expat Radio. Okay, remember I was talking about on my live stream, the last live stream, the members only live stream I did yesterday. It's how black men, we fall out over the easiest stuff. It goes 0 to 100. This guy helped me. He introduced me to his audience, right, in the beginning. But you know why we fell out? We were doing a live stream together. I was way in Bacolod one time, and I wasn't able to do the live stream. I said, hey, man, I'm doing my extension. Well, he started screaming and hollering at me like I was a little child. I'm like, dude, it's not that serious. I got to get my extension. Well, we haven't spoken since. And that was 3 years ago. But he helped me. Vagabond Awaits helped me. Believe it or not, Andy Omar helped me in the beginning. And that's why I don't have a problem bringing people on my platform, pushing them out there. But don't forget where you came from. Don't all of a sudden get out there and then turn around and now you want to troll me like some people have done. Yeah, thank you. He said, no one would do it for you. Get off that wheel only if you only can complete the mission first. But have some confidence in yourself. A lot of us, man, the average age of the person who watches my channel is 45 and up. My biggest audience is 55 to 64. Well, hell, if you don't know what you're capable of by now, you'll never know. Okay, there's something in your past that shows you've got what it takes. But we don't meditate. We don't stop. Okay, and and think, what are they talking about, and reflect. The world has sped us up, man. It's like we don't have time to do that. But there's
I'll
something in
be
your
honest.
past that
I
shows
think
you got what it takes.
I think a lot of men don't even consider the fact that it's possible. Like I was saying, I never thought about traveling overseas. I had the ability to, but I never thought about it. I would spend my summers, going back and forth to AAU basketball and bringing my son here and doing all type. It was never about me. The wake up call for me was I had an ex and we didn't date that long, but we were talking one night. She says, now that your son's in college, he'll be out of the house soon. What do you want to do with your life? And I couldn't answer that. A simple question. I couldn't answer it because I never thought about it. It never mattered to me. It mattered about me supporting my kids, me supporting my kids' dreams, and my significant other.
Okay, that's true, because that's for not only men but women too. Napoleon Hill said 98% of people cannot tell you specifically what they want to do with the rest of their lives. And I know this is true. He said that's why the 2% run the world, because they can tell you specifically what they're going to do. Most of us either have no plans or we general with it. Oh, I want to be happy. I want to be rich. But we can't be specific with it. Blizzard abroad.
Yeah.
Most of us, a lot of people have given up. Okay,
It was
but
me.
let's,
It was
just
me
for,
at 44 years old, figuring it like, God, why am I this way? That's when I woke up at 44 years old. I'm very early on this journey, but yeah, to wake up at 44 years old, and that's why I want to speak to other men. That's why I want to talk about the things I talk about.
yeah, dissatisfaction is a great motivator, believe it or not. Become dissatisfied enough. You're going to do something about it. You're going to change, man. And that's what happens. Like you became dissatisfied. I became dissatisfied. And we were about the same age. When I started traveling in 2009, I was 45 years old. I hadn't turned 46 yet. I was the same age as you were. And a lot of guys, believe it or not, who come on this channel, I got a guy the name of Smiley. He's that age. Michael Beecher Life is that age. The guy who just left my house was 44. Somewhere around that time, I don't know if it's a middle age crisis, midlife crisis, whatever, the light comes on and you're like, man, there's more to life than this. I've got to do something else. But let's do a review before I get off here, man, for the new people who are just joining the live stream or the podcast. Same thing. What we're talking about is the hidden cost of being a man in today's society. Now, I'm using an article, The Good Men Project, and the link is in the description, because I always give credit where credit is due. I would never, wait.
See if he's gonna come back.
Okay.
There you go.
But in the article, it says men have historically been the first to war, the first into a burning house, and the last to leave a sinking ship. It says we're seen as the champions of economic progress and the ones who are there to put into place the infrastructure that drives our transportation and communication systems. But there are hidden costs. Every year, thousands of men die in coal mines, railroads, sewers, satellite towers, and other dangerous work. Places that are too often taken for granted. And that's what we're talking about. We're taken for granted. We're seen as disposable, as insignificant, as replaceable. And prison, the justice system, is one of the ways that they do it. They throw us in prison for the smallest of things, and we spend decades and decades in there for nonviolent crimes. Because men are disproportionately affected by the justice system, the court system, family court especially. So we're just talking about how tough it is being a man in today's society, because things have changed, believe it or not. You know, and just like we was talking today earlier, that man box that they talk about, that they put us in. You're either Pookie or Ray Ray, or you're Andrew Tate, but there's no in between. You know, Andrew Tate being is a financially successful guy, in perfect shape, rich, handsome, brilliant, and athletic. The gold standard, really, that it's really unrealistic. Or you become Pookie and Ray Ray, incompetent knuckleheads who are behind on their child support, multiple baby mamas, they're 50 years old, still wearing Jordans with no redeeming qualities. See, people watching this, we're more than that. We're much more than that. And the definition of a real man keeps changing. You were talking about being the protector, the provider, the maintainer of the family. At what cost, though? You know, that puts a lot of economic pressure on men. I'm talking about so much so that some of us decide to abuse the system. They can't get it done at McDonald's. They can't get it done at the factory. So they start selling drugs, or they start stealing from the factory. You understand what I'm saying, Blizzard Abroad?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I always bring it back to the men. I always bring it back to us, because we are the leaders in society. It's men sending other men to fight the wars, you know. And I'm not trying to say that, you know, we shouldn't find a way to deal with our problems, but there's other men that's causing these problems. And it's
Right.
us, and it's what we seek. It's also the things that we seek out that cause us problems, you know.
I don't have a problem with that. I agree with you, but are they unrealistic though? That's all. I don't care who's making the rules. I'm saying that it's having a drastic effect on us as being, especially everyday men like us. I don't give a damn who's making the rules. You're right. It is a man's world, but we as men, we suffer by virtue of being born a man in a man-dominated society. Okay?
Yes.
It doesn't matter who created the economic pressure, it's there. And it's affecting a lot of guys. We're abusing the system, so then it's a perpetuating cycle. Guys commit suicide.
We won't come together. We come together to push back against it, and we're too busy fighting each other to ever even have a strong enough voice to push back against it. You know, it's just like when the union pickets, you're always gonna have people that's gonna break that line. That's the problem.
Yeah, we're always blaming though. We're pointing fingers, and that's not going to do anybody any good. I mean, you were talking about taking responsibility. That means looking in the mirror. A lot of us are afraid to look in the mirror. We don't like what we see. So we want to blame somebody else, or we want to look for outside of ourselves for the solution. When that's never going to happen, guys. If you're listening right now, if you don't hear nothing else I say, you are the problem and the solution. You're responsible for your own happiness. You define success for yourself. Because success, if you ask everybody watching here their definition of success, everybody's going to have their own definition, but ask them what the definition of failure is, and we can all agree on that. It's your inability to achieve your goals, whatever they are. That's considered a failure. But you have to define your own success. Just because you're not Andrew Tate doesn't mean you're not successful. And just because you had a divorce and you're not living in the same house as your children doesn't mean you're a failure. You got to define that self for yourself. But I know economic pressure is real. You know, keeping up with the Joneses, that shit is real, man. You know,
It is. But it's on
So we
us.
do a lot of,
It's
we self-destruct, man, trying to live up to the standards. I don't give a damn who created it.
it's on us. If that's what you want to follow, if you want to keep up with the Joneses, then you got to deal with the consequences that come with that. You're putting that pressure on yourself on top of the other societal pressures that we already have. And that's the problem,
Yeah.
is that we're blaming other people for problems that we had a hand in. It's like marriage. I've been married and divorced. Before I ever got married, I knew what divorce would look like. Before I ever had a kid, I knew what it would look like if I didn't stay with the mother of my kids, and I had to pay child support. So what does it look like now, me complaining about child support or divorce? We all know the situations that we get ourselves in, if, before we sign up to it. Now, the bigger societal pressures, I understand, but that's not going to be solved unless we come together as a very large group and push back against it. And we just can't seem to come together on anything.
Yeah, there's no organization, first of all. Because some people are going to tell you, oh, well, the church is the solution. And some people are going to say the politics. I'm going to say it's the family, the community. That's those who I say. But everybody's we can't agree on anything. But, when you talk about stuff like that, but where does this stuff come from where men have to be strong? That we can never show weakness. See, this is what kills a lot of us, okay? We're supposed to be strong, whatever that means, but society says that you're supposed to be strong, that you're supposed to handle whatever life throws at you, man. That's unrealistic. This stuff is not real, man. This is rhetoric. And it sends a lot of men down that old slippery slope of failure and eventually death, man, unhappiness and everything else. When we got divorced, we didn't go into it to get divorced, though. We always go into it where I'm going to do the right thing. We had the right intentions, but we wasn't looking at reality. And a lot of us, we can't face reality. We're in this fantasy life. Look, if you're out there, you're thinking about getting married, man, 50% of new marriages are ending in divorce. So, you're taking a 50-50 chance. I wouldn't invest any money in a stock if it was a 50-50 chance of it failing. I wouldn't do it. But we do it because we say, well, I'm going to keep it together. We love each other.
Not me. Yep. It's not
Okay.
going to happen to me, even though it happens.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's not going to happen to me. Okay. Same, it's just like the casino. Okay. You can stand in front of that casino all day long and tell them reality. That at the end of the night, 93% of you are going to go home losers. And they're going to keep coming in. They're going to keep coming in because they say it's not going to be me. Because at any given time in that same casino, 92% of people are winning. But at the end of the night, 93% are losers. And you can get at, that's how I feel like when I'm out here talking, like I'm standing in front of the casino door. They're going to run you over to get in there because it's not going to happen to them. They're the exception. This is what I run into. The exception only means that the rule is correct. And if you get married again, it's 60% is going to end in divorce, and it keeps on going. But we think, oh, some of these guys, they've been married 4, 5, 6 times.
I can't.
Oh, no, it's not members only. This is just something that I wanted to do when I said I was going to stop doing my live streams. I just wanted to take, an hour. Really, I just wanted to do an hour, but this is like an interesting conversation. And I got an interesting guest where we can just talk about men issues. I mean, it's not enough time, really, but let's at least do that and try to help ourselves have better outcomes on whatever it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to move out of the United States, let's try to help each other have a better outcome of that. If you decide to get married or whatever it is, that's all. The people ask me to come back. This is your channel, it's not mine. If you stop watching, if you stop listening, I'm gone. I never forget that. He says, I like it. I'll come on more for this. Yeah, it's just an idea I got. I said, I got to replace the live stream. So 53 Shades Darker is up next. Then Harry Shoulders is up. Anybody that's watching this right now, if you want to get on here and you got anything to say that's going to move us forward, it's going to help us, then I invite you to come on here. I'll just be in the audience. Doesn't matter. He says, Tip, do not get government and church in matters of the heart. Well, that's too late for that. You know, it's supposed to separate church and state.
But now you got you can't get them out of it.
Yeah, you got politicians in the pulpit. You know, it's all there's blurred lines in America. You know, you see, it takes a while. You have to leave there and be on the outside looking in to see how crazy it is. You got politicians. Y'all saw the other day. She got rappers, and they're entertaining you, dummy. They're not talking about what they're going to do for you. They're just trying to entertain you to buy your vote. So they brought who? Quavo on there. Camilla Harris did. Megan Thee Stallion. And it's a comedy show now. And we're supposed to vote for her just for that? Lady, you ain't said 2 words that's going to change my life.
She don't even have a platform. She don't even have a platform.
Neither one of them do.
Nothing on her website saying what she's going to do for the people. You know.
And he said real men come face to face with Russian special forces. Well, I don't know about that. I was reading an article yesterday talking about the Ukrainian men. They're escaping. They're running from war because they changed the age that you can be drafted. It went from 25, now it's 27. And a lot of these guys, they see how few, you know, going to war is for no use. They're going to die, these guys are saying. I don't want to die. I don't want to be horribly disfigured and then society throws me away. These are Ukrainian men saying this. The rhetoric says, I'll go up there and fight, knowing good and well, man, you know, unless it's in my backyard, which a lot of it is over there.
I don't know. I heard somebody say that the only people that glorify war are people who never had to serve in a war.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They glorify it, but these guys are talking real talk. They're saying, I don't want to die. You know, I don't want to leave my family. You know, it's rhetoric, man. And men walk into burning houses because of the stupid rhetoric. Remember, we're disposable. They're saying that they're running out of men over there. Okay, but the leader keeps going around getting money from all these different countries, knowing he's fighting a losing battle. He's sending these young men to their graves, really for nothing. They're fighting right now to try to come to a better agreement. This is what they're doing. Crazy, man. I ain't trying to die for that. I'm trying to die if it's about saving my country. It's not about that. They're not going to lose their country. Okay? But, you know, that's the type of rhetoric that you got to be a real man to do all that, to give your life and all that. Fuck that. That old men declare war, young men fight them. See, this is what we're talking about. Getting rid of all this bullshit surrounding us as men. We're disposable. We're replaceable. You don't get nothing for building the damn infrastructure, man. Yeah, he said us men are supposed to be strong at all times and show zero weakness. Then a strong man shows up and it's called toxic masculinity. Yeah. I just said that.
It's because we're not the ones defining it. We're being told what manhood is most of the time by women, you know?
And we're silent. We suffer in silence and isolation. We don't have the support, guys. We need to start talking to each other. You're not unique. The problems you're going through, somebody else is going through it. When I did a segment on erectile dysfunction, man, you know, guys got upset at me for that. I'm like, why? It's real life, man. You know, I'm not saying that you're weak because of that. That's real life. You know, people have prostate issues and stuff like that. This guy got mad at me about that, you know. I'm like, why are you mad at me about talking about real life stuff? Because it happened to him. Well, you know, it happens to thousands of men. We need to talk about it, though. What can we do? What are some of the solutions? I'm going to show y'all something that I learned on the internet. If you have any kind of prostate issues, you get you a tennis ball like this, and you sit on it, and you're giving yourself a prostate massage. You're helping the prostate, you know, because as you get older, your prostate will grow. It doesn't mean you got cancer or stuff like that, but it's going to help. We need to share information like that. This is from a doctor. It says put it in between where your testicles in and your butt. You put it in that spot right there, but you got to be sitting on a hard surface, and you rock back and forth, you know, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. But see, we don't talk about stuff like that. We're afraid to put that stuff out there because you're thinking, oh, it doesn't affect me. Yeah, it will. It will. That's part of living. But, you know, men are being raped, man, especially in prison. But it's crickets. Nobody cares, man. But these guys are eventually let out, only to wreak havoc on the community, on our communities. Homophobia is everywhere. You know, a lot of guys are hiding in fear and in shame and causes. I don't give a damn what you do. Just don't cross that line with me, because homosexuals are like everybody else. But as a society, we're so sick that all we think about is the 30 minutes to an hour whatever they're doing in their bedroom. We don't think that they go to work and they hurt and they suffer and all that. All we look at or imagine in our sick minds is them rubbing against each other in their bedroom. Okay. I don't give a damn, you know, what your sexual preference is. I really don't. Can you do the job? Are you capable of doing it? Are you going to do it? You know, but don't expect any special favors, because now all of a sudden, you know, you're coming out. Because why do people even need to know that? It's you know, that's my question.
I don't get it. It's shoving it down. It's only, I believe, 2% of the population in America. You wouldn't know that by, you know, how much we talk about it and how much is pushed in our face. You know?
Yeah. Well, hell, 2%. What 10% would be 30 million? Well, let's say 40 million. So then, what are you talking about? 8 million? That's a lot of people. But I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is, why in the world are you? You know, why do we need to know? If you're saying it shouldn't make a difference, then why do we need to know then?
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying. Mr. Beast is going through it now because his audience is children, and he's got a transgender on there, and they're saying kids are too young to even be thinking about sex, and they're thinking about sex when they see this transgender. I don't know if he's on there anymore, but this is the kind of murky waters you start, you know, treading in when you do that. But homophobia is big in the manosphere, especially in the black community and stuff like that. I don't think people should be treated differently, but I also don't think that they should be given special treatment either.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
Shouldn't matter at all. It doesn't
matter. But the fact that men are being raped in prison, and you got guys are being glorified for that. Trust me, there's many channels on YouTube. That's all they talk about him. You know, people being violated in prison. They're getting all these views, man. We like to see that stuff. We like to hear about that kind of stuff, man. You're destroying men's lives. There has to be some type of protection for men in prison like that. And you're gonna say, well, he shouldn't have went to prison. Bullshit. If we were doing that to women, you'd be locked up forever. You'd be counseled. That's all I'm saying. Because the justice system is disproportionately made up of men. I'm talking about. It affects us. We go to jail more than women, man. But we don't want to talk about that. Yeah, I don't
We go
know
to jail
what they
more.
do.
We get more time for the same offense, same circumstances. Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you, Blizzard Abroad, man, for coming on, man, really on such short notice and for taking on such a tough topic, really. Because we're going to get a lot of pushback, you know, because men were just not united. There's no brotherhood anymore. You got little pockets of it, but not enough. They don't realize, you know, whether you're old or young, rich or poor, educated or not, you're still seen the same in the eyes of society. I mean, you know, we're indispensable, they're saying. You know, we're replaceable. We're insignificant. I say that's bullshit. You know, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, thank y'all so much for your super chats today, for joining us today. We're going to do this every Saturday morning at 7:30 Philippine time, Friday 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just for 1 hour, really, but you know, I wanted to kind of introduce everybody to Blizzard Abroad because he's really gonna have a good channel, man. But he don't talk enough about sex and relationships. That's why y'all don't watch it. You know, the things that's really gonna help you is what he talks about. That gets you to thinking. You don't talk about. I mean, you don't want to listen to. All you want to listen to is the province girl. What's better, the province girl or the city girl? What difference does it make? It's not going to make a whole lot of difference. Most of the women you meet in the city, they come from the province to get jobs and stuff. But she's not the problem, and she's certainly not the solution. But thank you, brother. You got any last words you want to say before we get off here?
I just want to give you your flowers, man. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you for having me on. Everybody, if you want to go check out the channels, Blizzard Abroad on YouTube. But other than that,
Yeah,
have a good night, everybody.
yeah. Let's give this guy some support because y'all talking about, oh, we sorry that Pumpkin Joe left and this and that. People, he gonna leave. You know, people ain't got time to be. Don't waste. I'm not gonna let you waste my money. I'm certainly not gonna let you waste my time. You know, give these guys some support, man. You be, you know, surprised. You may learn something. So take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Don't do anything stupid, man. You see a brother somewhere, because a brotherhood is all men. Lift him up, man. Be positive. Certainly don't be aggressive toward him. Have some empathy toward other men.